Do you guys like my teapot set? I have a pineapple ginger in there. Tastes really great. I love my little tea set. I immediately drank tropical citrus because I barely had any tea in there. This shit right here. It has a lot of electrolytes. It's like full bodied. I find it so funny when my cat picks stuff up with her paw and like looks at it like a squirrel. She really imitates so many different kinds of spirit guides. Like all these different, like I know they're my animal spirit guides, and that's why she imitates them. But she's not yet been a cat. So I find that. Fuchsia, don't eat that. Good cat. Good cat. That's what I'm talking about. Good cat. Good cat. Okay, that was good. She listened. Okay, let me make sure this doesn't fall. All right. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Ooh, I am hydrated, honey. Okay. Ugh. I look like I just came back from a run. I'm so hydrated. Okay, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my reading. We're gonna put on some Panta Oracle. Ooh. Yeah, my face is still healing. This stings like once in a while. It like stings. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's a nasty ass cut, dude. You should have seen it. I was bleeding so much. It's so huge. It looks like a different. It looks like I got two sets of eyes right here. I actually have eyes all over my body. So we're gonna read this oracle a little bit. We're gonna see what's going on. I still have my tarot out here, so don't get it twisted. Don't get lost. I have my eco tarot here as well, and I have my angelic deck. I love this angel deck. It's so cool. Always gives me the names. I love learning the names of all the different angels. That's like really important to me. Recently, someone told me you should probably start learning names and stuff like that. And like, I'm just like, I'm so terrible at learning names because there's so many. There's so many names. Okay, so let me. Okay, let's put up this Panta Oracle. First card out, okay, in reverse. Stubbornness, and it's not okay. So there's been this huge thing about stubbornness. Like, oh my gosh, it's huge. So I'm glad it's coming to me now because that's something that I also mentioned earlier. It's like stubbornness that's not okay, and it's like projected stubbornness. It's when someone is being stubborn with you and then they want to call you being stubborn so that you can comply. So technically, it's forced compliance. And so it's being called out right now, it's being exposed, some sort of false compliance. Or, yeah, because like real compliance will be willful compliance, is when you actually are willing to comply. But a forced compliance or false compliance would be oppression. So there's an idea here. So I'm guessing that's like, I'm guessing, literally, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's an idea to get away from oppression, right? Because ideas are usually high vibrational, coming from high vibrational energies. Okay. And so, oh yeah, I was going to say 444. I'm waiting for my clothes to like dry. So yeah. So you got third wheel energy. So that's like external energy. So somebody else's perspective of the situation, or you could say it's the perspective that works, or it's the how things are working. So I've already gotten this. Oh my gosh. I keep on, there are these annoying, whatever, let's just keep going. So there's calm. So from an external perspective, things are, so that's optic. So, you know, that's why I don't like optics, because they can be illusionary, right? Optical illusion, right? That's my first introduction to optics, was illusion. So aid and reverse. So there you go. So things seem calm, like from an external perspective, things seem like they're doing okay. In reality, there's no assistance within some sort of situation. It's like schedule in reverse means there's something that's off schedule or off kilter. Something is off kilter, something is off the hinges. Yeah, sweetheart in reverse. So some sort of mal, 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 mal malevolent, malevolent, malevolent energy. Some sort of malevolent energy keeps on trying to force some sort of introduction. Yeah, there's libation here. So I said benevolent in order for me to get the word correct. Because I was like, malice, malice, how do you say malice? And then benevolent. Yusha. So my cat's probably feeling that. She's probably feeling that malevolent energy. She doesn't want to be malevolent towards me, but it's been trying to get her, right? So family in reverse, see familial in reverse. So something that's unfamiliar, malevolent, unfamiliar spirit or energy. Okay. So that's like oh my gosh, you know what it's giving me? I think it's something, I hadn't realized this, but everything that I know about hell, like the tears that I know about hell, are all in like the first realm of hell. So there's multiple dimensions of hell. Like hell is multidimensional. And so the one dimension that I know of hell is like enough for me to know, like, oh shit. So unfamiliar is like from a different sphere of hell that is kind of insane. I didn't think I was gonna get this information today, but alas, you know what I mean? So that's no bueno, right? I'm not really liking that. Because know thy enemy, and know the names of your demons as well. And that's another thing. And oh my gosh, yeah, sweet dreams, yeah. From an external perspective, there just seems to be this like amazing experience of human nature, like just rest, satisfaction, comfortable energy. From from what I'm seeing, it's like hell. It's not that I'm saying that we're not doing good collective. We're doing great collective, especially around those darker forces. And so the idea in the situation, what is that idea in the situation? Um, introvert. So this must be present energy. So online community. So that's me doing the reading right now. Okay. Yeah, fate. Yeah, there it is. So fatalism, foretelling, coincidence, reading into coincidences, or basically quantum traveling, right? There's a lot of dimensional shifts occurring. So that's hell. I had no idea. I mean, it's probably more like mental illness, isn't it? Holy crap. That's how it manifests. Um, the good thing, right? The good thing about all of this is that there's sweet dreams, calm and satisfaction, libation in the situation. So it is what it is, retrospect. Um, so I guess we're in fifth house energy, which has to do with games and fun. Basically, yeah, what'd you call it? Indulgence in reverse, or yeah, indulgence in reverse. So I'm not sure where this goes. joy, friendliness, interaction. So no interaction. So a separation, which makes sense. There was a separation somewhere. So I know where it goes. It seems like in the order in which things are, there's privacy at this current time. But the privacy manifests itself in a way that like is most protective, right? So like for example, I don't have much of an online community anymore like I used to because that is my privacy. It just shows how much like if you really want something you can get it, right? So at first like there was a lot of like wanting to have like fame and like fortune and stuff, and I got that. And then I was like, okay, now I want privacy. And then God is like, ah. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta understand the balance of things. And so I understood how to balance out like fortune and privacy through anonymity, um, which would be in the opposition of that indulgence in reverse, right? Why would it be opposition of indulgence in reverse? What? Oh yeah, joy, interaction. I mean, sorry, in reverse. So there's definitely no interaction between energies right now, especially those malevolent forces and the divine order. That's good. Um, yeah. So ceremony, mystery, and magic, that's where the anonymity would be. Mystery. Because if you really think about it, that should be my shower. Yeah. Mystery. So let's keep going. There's saving energy, preservation, collection, meanness. That would be in the energy of mystery and ceremony, actually. Between coincidence and ceremony, it is preservation or meanness, like average hood, things of average. Okay, so the opposition of that being indulgence, yeah, evidence, proof, investigation, detection. That's quite interesting. It's giving more like the energy of targeting. So there's a difference in manifestation. When you're manifesting, you're magnetizing towards you the 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 more visionary aspect of your manifestation rather than the details. The details fill themselves in, things fall into place. Whereas detection is more with discernment. So from a high vibrational standpoint, if that card had been high vibrational, it could be a completely different kind of energy. But in that energy is more like target. And so it's also giving like where there's online privacy, there's definitely evidence and proof of some sort of magnetism. So yeah, bully. Embarrassment, gossip, unwillingness, and there it is with stubbornness. So the card stubbornness came out earlier, and it's more so like a projection. It's when someone claims as if you're stubborn, but they're the ones that is stubborn, and it's like a projection for compliance, looking to force compliance. So with family in reverse, unfamiliar, and bully. Yeah, withdrawal. Awakening, quit, there's an energy of dismissal. So obviously there's boundaries, and then there's energies that are self-preserving through those boundaries. Yeah, triumph in reverse has to do with, I feel this that third wheel energy with commitment, binding, obstruction, contract. So that has to do with the boundaries. Because when you get boundaries, right, and God enforces those boundaries, who's the one that wins? God, not the external. Like, sorry, the sounds that are like external right now are kind of like the tone and the way that anyway, Squid Games sounded like Squid Games music. Profession in the back of the deck. Fuchsia. I also realized that energy is kind of like the mind's eye. So, for example, I was doing research and I found out because of aphantasia, it would be difficult for me to see through my mind's eye. And I was like, well, what the fuck? What the fuck is a mind's eye, anyways, right? I got, not that I've got, but there are a lot of eyes on, like, that I see through, but the mind's eye, like, what is a mind, right? That has to do with like the mind. Let's say, like, do you mind? It's more like, do you um are you cognizant and relaying, you know what I mean, permissibility in a situation. So when it comes to mind, it's more like submission to me. Like, I think of it as submitting to God. So whenever something occurs, I understand the difference between me bringing it to cognizance and then submitting it to God, and then allowing that information to be rendered so that I can then complete the sequence of information through my brain, because I understand that there's a crown above me, right? So that's another thing. A lot of people don't understand their own bodies. Yeah. There was this one painting I saw of all the different organs in the human body, and it was all connected to like different entities that exist only in the third dimension. So I was wondering, like, how connected is our temple to divinity, and how much we actually have to purify it so that we can then understand our spirit, because purifying allows for transparency of our vessels to seek wisdom within, right? So it's like all the different ways that the human body functions mirrors. Fuchsia, get down. All the different ways that the human body functions teaches us about the functions of the universe, or the protocol of the universe. So which direction that order moves by, basically. Trap in reverse with is under fate and saving. So like fortune telling, fatalism, preservation, which means like it's not a trap. Basically, as simple as it is, it's not a trap. There's no victim here. There's no allure. There's no tricks in a situation. Everything here is in protocol, right? Because it's the way the universe works in a situation. So, yeah, there's a loss and vow, which has a lot to do with. So, loss has to do with the worldly realm. So, everything that happens in the world, right, could be considered a loss at some, like, in some sort of way. And the promise there, in the energy of promise, right, would be wish, hope, worship, which is like there are, everything that happens in heaven is, or all of the things in heaven are far richer than they are here on earth. So it's like everything that is here on earth is considered a loss. But what is it a loss for? Who's it a loss for? So the evidence of loss, why am I getting that meme? The loss meme, remember? Yeah. Readiness. So preparation for gift in reverse. A miscarriage of justice, maybe. Yeah. So you got that. So there seems to be a miscarriage of justice in the, I wouldn't say horizon, because in spirit, not in the astral, in spirit, it's being recognized as the past, but in reality, it's simulated as to come. So if you've already overcome that loss, you are bound. Remember, I was saying promise bound. You are bound to receive through preservation or persevering too. Whereas that energy hasn't yet incited fury. So it's like real preparation. Ooh, self-love. I don't know how this card got burnt. I don't remember that, but it did. Self-love. Self-concern got burnt. That's actually really funny. I did think that that was like a little bit weird that self-concern was on that card. I really didn't believe in that. Like concern for self, which is more about selfishness. So I tell you guys, there's some 222, which I tell you guys, I'm telling you, that was real. So you got self-healing and independence. And see, the independence is there, which is that cat energy. So it seems like, or should I say lynx energy, feline energy. Yeah. So luck in reverse is coming through as well. Yeah, I'm gonna like keep going. I'm so sleepy. Oh my gosh, EP. So luck on earth is not the same as luck in heaven. Coach energy. So real teacher, obedience, knowledge. So here's the cognizance energy, cognition, right? There's no recognition within that other energy, which would have to do with, right? Unrecognizable, unfamiliar. But there's cognition within this energy, which means that there's something to be learned, right? Strategy, something about taxonomy as well. So that has to do with um, technical achievements, okay? So technical achievements through practical submission, right? Technical achievements through practical submission. And then you got loneliness, dullness, isolation, disappointment. Ooh. Yeah, and then marriage on the other side of the matter. And in between, you got the promise. So just because you submit your loneliness to God, collective, or people try to make it seem as if that because they've submitted their loneliness to God that they receive some sort of marriage, doesn't mean that they could or had, or that you would or could, right? So remember that we do things for, we practically submit in order of practical submittance, right? We don't practically submit for technical gain. That's not something that we do. We give to God just to give to God. We don't give to God in order to receive from God, because we already understand that we are already continuously receiving from God. Libation, you see, We're already continuously receiving from God. And then you have this frustration, survive, risk, and looking and desiring something more than we receive would be disastrous, quite literally. Yeah, as you can see from history, right? So history proves that to be right. And so you have, so that's what it is. Someone wants you to summon something for them so that then, like, you know, they want to make you do something for them. But if God didn't give you a pass on that, if God didn't give you what you're supposed to get to do that, then it's not meant for them to be receiving it. You know what I mean? Curse in reverse. So, like, I know what this is. So it's like people wanting to exploit me, but the business, like, let's say the business is trying to exploit me, doesn't get the funds to continue attempting to exploit me or to incite the exploitation to occur. So God isn't providing some sort of resource to certain individuals because they are being blocked from inciting some sort of falsehood. Um, yeah, conflict in reverse, curse in reverse, strategy. And this then has to do with taxonomy and the energy of like what you receive is truly yours, but just because it belongs to you doesn't mean that what you do or what you've done has had deserved what you're getting. Basically understanding that, basically, that you will always have to pay more than you get until you're in kingdom, until you're in heaven. Yeah, and that's where the gifts come in. So Ace of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles, this has to do 5 swords, enlightenment. So it's saying, if you're wondering what you're meant to, what the tactical, the taxonomy of this current moment is, what's being honored at this current moment, and then the practical submission, which is kind of like unburdening, right? Unburdening yourself. So we have pressure for combining resources to form large entities. So we have the consolidating market here. So balance, right? Merging fairly. Trusted authority. So this is now coming out in reverse with all the rest of the cards. So false healer persona pretends to mend but introduces new harm. So the pressure here is to merge fairly, which also has to do with mending. So it's not working out for people who failed the recessionary market, basically failed during economic showdown. They refuse to serve faithfully, and through the occurrences of endurance, provide to God. You see, then it's different. Then it's about practical. No. Yeah, practical submittance, which would be reliance. I'm providing God the reliance. Why? Because He has already provided me with faith to serve. You see what I'm saying? So everything that happens afterwards, like, would be a blessing. Understanding that will allow for merging, right? Fairness, right, in a situation through which by which authority would come, trust authority would come. So then I provide that practical submittance to God, the trusted authority. And then, yeah, why? Because I was then put in a specific circumstance to merge fairly. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. And this has to do with cognition. So it's like recognizing, first you submit practically, and then you'll recognize, and then later you will be given like tenfold of what you gave to God. But that has nothing to do with what you had actually given to God. It just has to do with what God feels as if that you would actually, you know what I mean, earn in return. It doesn't even matter. So spread your wings, Archangel Ariel. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect, and you're ready to do that. Victory, Archangel Sandalphon. Your prayers have been heard and answered by faith. Okay. And compassion, Archangel Zadkiel. Soften your heart with respect to the situation and people involved, including yourself, as well as creative writing, Archangel Gabriel here. Make time to write down your thoughts in a journal with a pen or book. Okay. So I've been feeling that energy for a minute now, but now it's here. So practical submittance in the situation would be what would be written. And then, yeah. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.